They're supposed to be here on a working holiday, but for thousands of young Taiwanese, their trip to Australia is anything but. The young Asian workers say they're being ripped off, harassed and forced to work unreasonable hours. They're recruited by labour hire agencies who send them to work, in some cases, for major Australian companies. This report from Matt Peacock.
5 a.m. at the Scone Meatworks in the New South Wales Upper Hunter Valley, and the morning shift is reporting for work. The vast majority are hundreds of young Taiwanese backpackers, not locals. They're in the country on 417 visas for up to 2 years working holiday. The Meatworkers Union says it's anything but a holiday.
We're talking about excessive hours of work, we're talking about gross underpayments, we're talking about mistreatment, we're talking about allegations of sexual harassment by some of the contract bosses.
If you say something wrong, say something not good for the company, you will lose your jobs.
Yeah, just over the 3 months.
Robert Baker's a local who's worked as a slaughterman for 20 years. When he returned from interstate to work here in Scone, he was shocked. So Hunter Valley meats, but not very local.
No, not very local at all. All internationals, 90% anyway, as was seen when I first walked in. Pretty astonishing as the workers that they got on site.
After working here for 3 months before quitting over safety concerns, Robert Baker now worries about the Taiwanese friends that he's made.
They were getting mistreated and underpaid, just like anyone. If you do the work, you should be paid for it.
And not even half the minimum Australian wage is being paid to a lot of these international workers, and that's simply not fair and it's not just, and I don't think any Australian worker would cop it.
Meatworkers Union Secretary Grant Courtney's been investigating the plight of the international workers for the past 2 years.
We estimate that there's over 10,000 temporary international workers working from backpacker visas in our industry. The whole night shift has signed that, and it's a terrible thing. It's horrific.
Ian Tam, recently recruited by the union as a Taiwanese liaison officer, has collected 75 signatures accusing a Scone abattoir supervisor of sexual harassment.
For example, some parts, ladies, you cannot touch them. For example, the chest, the ass, you cannot touch it.
The petition says
he touches body parts like hands, shoulders, loins, face and really any location. It makes us feel very uncomfortable and disgusting, as he is our supervisor and agent. We are afraid to say anything for fear of losing our job.
That supervisor trying to keep doing that every day. And the ladies keep saying no, nothing changed. Still doing that.
Scone Meatworks is owned by the small goods manufacturer Primo. We sought a response from the General Manager, Peter Allen.
Put all the gear back in your car. You're not official visitors on the site, so...
I'll put this back?
Put it all back.
Sure.
Put it all back. And jump in your car.
There you go, mate.
We'll talk as we go back out there.
But Mr Allen refused to answer our questions, even though the union says it put the sexual harassment allegations to the company late last year.
This site's owned by Primo, so Primo is a small goods processor.
Sure.
So everything, even though I'm the general manager of the site, will go through
head
our
office.
senior people.
Okay.
So you'll do nothing here. You can pack everything away and leave the site.
The union claims Primo uses specialised labour hire companies to employ the Asian backpackers. It's here in the Sydney suburb of Auburn that Scottwell International recruited many of the young Taiwanese through a variety of labour hire companies. Scottwell on its website says its principal business is the recruitment of Chinese, Taiwanese, Japanese and Korean employees to work in abattoirs and slaughterhouses across Australia, now at 19 different abattoirs across 3 states and employing more than 1,100 people. Hi, I'm Matt Peacock from ABC Television. Is Scott Chi here? Mr Scott Chi? The director of Scotwell, Scott Zunen Shi, wasn't available to speak with us. Do you know if he's here? Mr. Shi never returned our call. Thank you. But a few weeks ago, Ian Tam went undercover at Scotwell. He says backpackers are being encouraged not to pay tax by using ABN numbers.
I investigate this agency. I'm just pretending I'm one of them, okay, like a backpackers looking for jobs. They will give you a form to fill in, very quick interview. Okay, we'll ask you, can you work now? Okay, they will send you to a place, no matter in Scone or in Queensland or in Victoria. Tomorrow we will start work very soon. Okay, they will give you a lot of forms to fill in, including ABN forms. Okay, when you ask them, how about tax file number? They will just tell you, okay, do not worry about that. You don't need to pay tax. You can earn more money using ABN. If not, sign those documents, you cannot get the job.
I'm a meat worker and I am livid, absolutely livid with this issue. Like, all of our workers are willing and able to pay tax. Temporary international workers are usually very well educated workers and they pay tax in their own country.
Hello, Matt, welcome.
How do you do, Joseph? Thank you. Even the Taiwanese government's Joseph Chow in Sydney is worried.
Since 2004, there are about 100,000 young Taiwanese people have been in Australia doing working holiday visa scheme. And just for last year, there are about over 35,000 young Taiwanese people here. So we are very concerned about their safety. We are very concerned about their fairness to be treated.
Primo is the country's largest meat manufacturer, founded and still run by the wealthy Lederer family. Its CEO, multi-millionaire Paul Lederer, leads a consortium which it's believed recently bought the Wanderers, Western Sydney's soccer club. Back at Primo's Sydney headquarters here, nobody was prepared to do a television interview either, although the company eventually did issue a statement.
Any report on harassment is taken seriously. We have recently received a complaint and have now addressed this with the individual's employer, the Labour Hire Agency. Allegations of workers being encouraged not to pay tax are untrue. We do not employ anyone under a 417 visa. We do engage the services of labour hire agencies. It may be more appropriate to address them.
But what about the employees of the labour hire companies, not Primo's direct employees? Are they paid enough? Are they paying enough tax? And do they have to pay their medical expenses? We don't know, says Primo. You'd have to ask the labour hire company.
There needs to be clearly changes so temporary international workers cannot access an ABN within 65 seconds of getting to the country. Like, all ABN or all 417 visa workers should be directly employed by these companies, not through labour agencies. That will fix the problem.
To have these guys not even pay tax and take our jobs, it's bad. Like, how are they allowing it to happen? It shouldn't be allowed to happen.
Matt Peacock reporting.